we're unlocking your brand's potential with Adobe Express. So, if you were tuning in for the stream right before us, it was with Kristen, and she was working on rebranding her brand studio. And she previously shared her brand library with me. And today I'm going to be using that library. And with the power of Creative Cloud, I will be using that to create some fun business cards. We'll be creating digital business cards, printable business cards, invoicing, Instagram posts, all of the fun stuff that we can do within the next 1 hour. We're doing it. So let's dive into it. Let's see where you can find and connect with me if you wanted to in the future or reach out with any questions. Here's my Instagram. Make sure to click through the link in the chat if there are any, or just go through my username right here and send me a message if you have any questions. But without further ado, let's dive into Adobe Express. This is how it looks like. It is new.express.adobe.com, and new because it is brand new. And there are a lot of new features. But actually, I actually want to say hi to everyone, which I forgot. I forgot to say hi. But hey, everyone. Hey, Cody Bear, Jack, Oliver, Patrick, Hajar Design Studio, Kristen, Alejandro, Z, Paco, Sam. So many fun friends in the house. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am live right now. So if you have any questions, either on YouTube or on Behance, make sure to type them in the chat. And our wonderful moderator, Cody, will help us answer if I miss any of them. So this is the landing page for the brand new Adobe Express, right? And I have this little button here, or like some space that says start from your content. And you might be wondering, what does that mean? And it says photos, videos, or files. And when I say files, it's like super important to notice that you can actually use a PDF file, which Kristen from the stream right before us created a brand kit for us. And this is like a brand kit template that you can use, and it's a freebie that will be available for you to download later in the description. It will be added. I don't think you can find it right now, but we'll add it. Make sure to come back to the video when you see it. But here's the video. Here's the PDF. Sorry, my bad, not the video, right? Here's the PDF. I want to go back to my Express page. And what I want to do is click and drag the PDF file into the space right here. And Adobe Express will work its magic and convert this PDF into an editable PDF within Adobe Express. So now the PDF that someone shared with you earlier is now editable. And it says, we've converted and saved this as a new Adobe Express file in your stuff, open to add text, images, and make new pages from templates and more. So you can either go to your stuff, which is essentially whatever you've created in Adobe Express, or click on the open button, which redirects me to that converted file. I am really excited to dive into this because I have one of my previous brands that I work with and never actually made a brand kit because it was a fake fictional brand. So I can browse through my libraries and brands by going to your stuff and then going to brands and libraries. Fergie in the chat. Hello. Thank you for joining. I love that. Thank you so much, all the friends. All right. So this is Kristen's brand. It's called Spirit and Spark. I love that it's like has all these logo variations. But for now, if you have a different brand and it is not Spirit and Spark, maybe it is Green Tea Matcha, which I previously created on one of our live streams. And I want to populate some of these color palettes, right? I actually want to zoom out a little bit just so that you guys can see the whole thing. Oh, that's super zoomed out. Super zoomed out. But I want you to see that there are some boxes right here, and I don't know what to do with these. And I actually want to fill them with the color of the brand that I have selected. So the simple thing would be to essentially switch this fill with the border and then click on this fill color. And this is the brand that I selected. If you think that you're on the wrong brand that you have, you can click on this reverse button. Just think of it as an Uno reverse card, right? Click on those things and then you can select the library that you actually want. Maybe it's Halloween, or maybe it's like Let's InDesign, maybe it's like Poise Parfum, anything that you want to use in this brand kit or replace those colors with. Select that. In my case, I want it to be Green Tea Matcha. I select this color and bam, there you go. It's as simple as in one click. You can go back here, change it to film color. I'm going to do that one more time. Change that to the color that you want, and there you go. And then you can actually go in here, and you're wondering, how do I even get the hex code of this? Do I have to go to Illustrator for that? Well, the answer is no, because you can actually go in here, click on the custom button, and here's the hex code that you can see. You can copy this, press Command or Control C on your keyboard, and then go in here. I'm going to zoom right in, and then go and paste that right over here. And there you go. That's your hex code. So as simple as that, you can go ahead and populate all of these with any of the brands that you have. And this is a great PDF file because I know exactly where everything goes. So here's where the primary logo needs to go. So I'm going to delete that text right there. Click on this button right here, get the fill background, and then browse through my graphics to see what the primary logo is. I think it was this. I don't even remember this anymore. Okay, that's super big. So we need to scale that down. I can just do that with just dragging the corner up and scale it down. I don't need to hold shift because it's going to scale it down automatically proportionally from each side. And then I can scale it down as much as I want. There is a great question in chat from Douglas. Where did I get the initial PDF? Like I mentioned, there will be a link appended to the stream description later, which is a freebie provided by Kristen. So we'll have that link added for you, right? Probably today. We should be adding that today. We have this right here. This was essentially, I can undo all of this, but I can also show you what the PDF looked like. So this is what the PDF is, and it's a freebie that Kristen provided for us to use. So that's pretty much it. This is how you can go on editing all of the things in the PDF. For the sake of time, I will not go and add all of the things here, but I will start by creating something like a business card, because why don't we? So I went ahead and created a new project over here, but I'm going to show you how to create a new project if you've never used the new Adobe Express before. Here's a little handy dandy plus button on the left, and you can go in here and find all of the suggested sizes that are for you based on your usage. If you've never used it before, it's the most common sizes that people use. Or if you have your own use case, which is like business card, I can find that here. I can type business and click on business card, and that's going to open up a page for me. Now, I can also go ahead and resize this page if I didn't think that this was the right dimension that I wanted. Maybe I wanted to be a vertical alignment or a horizontal alignment. I can change that over here as well. So let's go back to our previously made file, just because I'm collaborating with Kristen on this. So I don't want to stray away from that. And I can change the dimensions here from pixel to either inches, centimeters, or millimeters, whatever metric system or things you're working with. And I'm going to say 3.5 by 2, which is the standard business card size, and then click on resize. So I have this project here, and I'm going to name it like business card front. Love that Kristen has put the link for the freebie in chat. Thank you so much. So if you guys are watching on YouTube or Behance, make sure to click through and get the free downloadable PDF brand kit. All right. So before we dive into business cards, I don't know where to access the library that Kristen shared with me. It's basically under your stuff. And this is essentially all the Creative Cloud libraries that you have associated to your Adobe Creative Cloud account. I have all of these brands that I previously created, but there's also Spirit and Spark. Sorry, my bad. You did not want to hear that. We have Spirit and Spark here, and I have all of these things that Kristen already added with to this library using Illustrator. This is the Illustrator file that she used. She created all of these assets and graphics. I love the color palette here, but she created this beautiful library for us to use, which you can access either in Illustrator if you're doing some changes, or come back to your Adobe Express file and access them there. So let's go ahead and add like a background color. I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you guys ever used like a digital business card or something? Because I have, and I love using digital business cards. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a quick background color. And I just did that because I had selected that library from my stuff, and I can choose any of these colors as my background color. Now I feel like there should be two variations, which is like a light background and a dark background, just like light and dark mode, because why not? And then I want to choose this, and maybe like just for contrast, I want to choose something which has like a very high legibility. So maybe I'll go with this guy and see how that looks like. Okay, this is like the black variation of the full lockup here. And I feel like when you think about traditional business cards, you want to have the logo on one side and your details and like some graphic elements on the other, right? So let's actually see if there's something else, which is like the brown taupe color that we have here. I'm gonna click through all of these to see what colors these are. Okay, I think this one works. And then I guess I can also use it on a white background. So we can go ahead and make these tweaks. And I can't really find the center here. So if you cannot find the center of the page, just because it's something that takes a lot of time, I want to go in here and click on middle, and that's going to align it to the middle of the page. Now, if you want this to be a little bit bigger on the page as well, I'm going to click through right now. If I hold shift and option, it gives me these um, handy dandy little grids, just like you might have seen in XD or Figma. And you can actually zoom, scale it up. I'm holding and pressing shift and option and then scaling it up and down. So it's going to scale it up from the center. You can also, I don't know if you've ever used it, but there's now a right click menu as well in Adobe Express, which I really love. Okay. So, okay, I think this looks good, but what I want to do now is create the back of this, right? This is the front of the business card, but where's the actual information? I can click this button here that says view all pages and then click the plus button, which is going to create the same size of canvas that I have for the business card. So I don't need to worry about sizes right now. And then we have this guy here, and this is our background. Now, I want to add Kristen's information here, and I don't really know what typeface she's using. But thankful for libraries again, because I can just find what typefaces there are in this. So I'm going to go to the text button right here, click on add your text, and say Kristen. I'm going to write her name here, and then I'm going to have this text box selected. Go to my place where I select the Adobe font that I want. And over here, you can actually, I think there's something going on with libraries for right now, but I can go back to my Spirit and Spark library. Okay, let's see where it is. I have so many libraries. I love that. 1 second. Where are you, Spirit and Spark? Okay, here we go. And this should load up your header and body fonts. I think I want this to be a header font because this is the heading that I'm going to use. I'm going to say Kristen, and then I can create a copy of this by right clicking and saying duplicate, or I can press Command D or Control D if you're working on a Mac or a PC, likewise. And then I'm going to say her title, which is founder and lead designer. So I'm going to do that. And then I want this to be like a secondary font. So again, I can select this guy, have that selected, go back to my body text that I have here, and then size it down to match and make it flush with the name. So I love that you can do this with Adobe Express now. It's just like super easy for me to do it. And I don't really need to go back and refer to my brand kit every single time. The brand kit is more useful when you're working with other people and collaborating with them, or you've hired a social media manager and they don't know how to use your brand. That's where the brand kit comes in handy, because you don't really know how they're going to use your brand and you want them to follow your brand guidelines. So I think that's super necessary for times like that. And then I also want to change the colors of this to be the actual brand colors, which is this darkest color here for contrast. And I think this is already coming together. Now, I did say that I do want to add some graphic elements to it just to tie it all together. So I'm going to browse through my Your Stuff again, go to my brands and libraries, and then go back and see if there are any graphic elements. I think there are. Okay, here we go. There are some real cool sparkle elements and some floral elements, but I think I'm going to go with this one, which is like the little cute flower we have here. Size it down again, and then maybe place it somewhere here. Maybe scale it up, and then we have this guy. Okay, I think that looks cool. Leaves some room for imagination. I don't know what's it gonna look like, but I have this, and then I'm gonna scale this down just like so. Maybe look at how this is looking for now. And I think I want to change the color here because it doesn't really match the vibe I'm going for. I guess this is good. And then, okay, yeah, I think I'm happy with this. And you can go on adding your let's say Instagram. So I'm gonna say add Spirit and Spark design because I know that's the Instagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that here. And you can also add other information in here as well. So I'm gonna scale that down just a little bit like so. And when you're scaling it down, you might see that there might be some kerning issues or like spacing issues between the actual glyphs. I can go here and change the letter spacing between the letters here when it's scaled down, and I can put it like so. And I feel like this looks really, really good. I love that there's a question in chat from Michael who says, "Great work, Anika. Can we add live links and make it a virtual card?" Well, you are in luck, my friend, because you can actually do that. I'm gonna go browse through not a graphic designer who is Kristen's Instagram, and then I'm gonna copy that link and come back to my Adobe Express. I can open a new .express.adobe.com page and go ahead and click a QR, make a QR code out of it. So while you cannot add live links, which are clickable, like if you send a PDF to someone and you can click on the link, you can still create a QR code here. So I'm going to say QR code. I think it should be somewhere in the quick actions. Yeah. QR code. Here we go. Generate QR code is going to generate the QR code for you for any URL that you've pasted in this text paste like area box, right? So I'm going to press Command V, and because I'm working on a Mac, if you're working on a PC, press Command Control C, and now you can click enter, and that's going to bring up this QR code. And if you scan this from your phone, if you send someone this digital business card, they can scan it. Or if you were at a conference, which I've actually personally done, I went to this really cool creative conference and I showed them my phone, and people could just scan and add it as either like a V card or even like a QR code that will redirect to your website. You can change the style and colors here as well. So you can make it a dotted one, or like this format that you prefer, you can make like a border out of it. I really prefer the default options. And I think perhaps this, right? And you can change the colors in here as well, but you can also change the colors by applying effects within the digital business card, which you can dive into next. And then here's the file format that you can change. If you want it as a PNG, go ahead and download it as that, JPG or as an SVG. I want it as a PNG, so I'm going to click on download, and that's going to download it to my downloads folder. Now I want to head back to my actual project here and then click on this new button. Before we do that, I do see there's some live commenting happen, which I love, the new collaboration features. And I see here's Kristen's icon right here, and I feel like she might be saying something. So I want to look at what my client is saying, because right now she's hired me to make her business cards, and I really want to get client feedback. And Kristen says, absolutely love this. It says what page the comment is on as well. So there's one comment on page 1. This looks amazing. I love color pairings. I love color pairings that you made. Okay, I love that. The client loves it. I think this is great, and I can go ahead and resolve this comment. And it's disappeared from my comments panel. Go back and see the next, and you click on it. It redirects you to the page where the comment was made. And here it says, absolutely love this. Can we also add the spark icon? Yes, we can. I'm going to reply to Kristen and say, yes, we can. And then I'm going to go ahead, resolve the comment, and go back to my libraries here and maybe add the spark comment, the spark icon. Okay, let's see. It's called spark, not sparkle. That makes sense. That does make sense. Okay, let's actually add like a lighter color. We'll see how that looks. Okay, let's put it here. I don't know how this looks with the brand guideline. Maybe we'll change the positioning of it, but maybe Kristen can tell us later if that works. All right, Kristen in the chat says, love the QR code generator. Is there a way to mask library files? George, thank you for the question on Behance. Let me know what do you mean by that? Do you mean like just cropping it out? Because yes, you can crop images out if you have library files. So let me know if that's something that you would want to see, and I can demonstrate that. Love it. Okay, cool. I'm just looking at chat to make sure I'm not missing out any questions. Okay. Love that. Perfect. All right. So let's jump into actually creating the QR code digital business card now. And I have this, which is the size that I initially created, but I actually want it to be digital. So I want to go to resize and make it like an Instagram story size. I can either do that, so it fits my phone frame, and I'm going to do that and click on resize here. Okay, I'm sorry. Coming back to this, I can actually go ahead and find like a template. So everything that I did for right now was creating from scratch. But with Adobe Express, you can actually find a template here. So I can go to templates tab on the left, click on business card, and see what we have. We have some really fun designs over here, and anything with a crown icon is a premium asset, right? So if you have premium subscription to Adobe Express, you're able to access this. But if you don't have that, you can actually access anything without the crown icon. So this is a free asset. this is a free asset, this is a free asset, this is a free asset. All of these are free assets, and then you can modify them as you would like. I actually really want this one, and I want to edit that with my current file. So I'm going to click on add as pages, and that's going to add this as a page. Now I really don't know what size this was, so I can click on resize and see the sizing here. I don't think I want this, and I want this to be Instagram story size, and I'm going to click on resize, and that's going to do the thing for me. And within like 1 second, it actually made the changes. Now, I obviously see some errors here because this is not on brand, right? These are not my brand colors. This is not my brand. This is not my QR code. So the first thing that I want to do is click on ungroup. And while I'm here, I just want to say that if you're watching again on YouTube, you're 20 minutes into the stream. Let me know if you have any questions. I actually can't see the YouTube chat for some reason, which is so weird. Oh, maybe now I can. All right, cool. Okay, perfect. So we have this. I'm going to ungroup this again. And now we have all of these assets. I'm going to start by changing the background color to be the background color of Kristen's brand. Delete this because I don't really know what Wild Designs was. And I'm going to go back in here, go to your stuff, and browse to the brand library that you have. Okay, let's see what colors I'm gonna put in here. Maybe I want like a stagged variation here. Kristen, if you're still watching, let me know if you would like a stagged or like a full logo lockup. I feel like in this kind of space, a stag logo would look really good. This is something that we have. I'm gonna see one more option here. I think there was a beige version as well that I really like, which would look great with the contrast. I think this looks super good with this darker background. I'm gonna click on align and make it centered. And I don't know if I want the spark right here, which is not Kristen's spark. I do have a follow-up question from George. I'm going to get to that in just a second. All right. And now we have this little color, and I'm going to double click into this. I'm going to click into this group here and change the color of this icon, which is essentially a placeholder for your QR code. I'm going to do that so it matches our brand. I think I also want to size it down just a little bit because it's taking up a lot of space. So maybe something like this, which will give the negative space and room for things to breathe. And I'm going to do a little hack here and take out my text from here and get it back in our designs here. I'm going to delete this page because we're not using it. Okay. And now I actually want to go in here, press Command V, and we have all the things. But as you can see, it's not legible because it's the same fill color, right? I'm going to change it to this lighter color. And here we have all of the things. I'm going to bring it down here. And I can delete all of this from here and then bring my actual information, bring it up, and it's illegible. I can just scale that up to center align it. Okay. And then I can just like, now I can leave this up to Kristen's discretion, what she wants. What information she wants in her actual business card. I'm going to group that and center line it. And here we have all of this information right over here. I see Kristen is already looking at it. So it's like a great way to collaborate with her. Now, this is not the QR code that I generated, but this is the actual QR code that I want to put in. So just browse to your folder, which is right over here for me. I can go ahead and click this QR code and drag it over here instead of that. And Adobe Express is going to replace that for me. I bet you haven't seen that before. So that's pretty cool that if you just hover onto the existing image, it's going to replace that with your new image. So now if you scan this is actually Kristen's Instagram page. And I think that is super lovely. I do think that this text could be white. Just to give that extra little look. I think this lighter color would work really well here. And then maybe we can add like a phone number or something. Let's see, maybe we can do something like, okay, let me zoom in a little so you guys can see better. And then I can just say +1 and then whatever area code you have, maybe it's like this and then 333-5555-4444, right? Anything, not anything, your actual phone number. Don't put anything on your digital business card. But I think this kind of sums up that this is how you can make QR codes. We covered a lot of things. We talked about how to make business cards, how to make digital business cards. So now let's jump onto something really, really fun. And I love to do this because I think this is really important for people who are not graphic designers by profession. And even if you are, you don't need to go to an external tool to make your designs accessible for your audience. There is little the add-ons button on the left here, and there are some wonderful add-ons here. I actually just saw this one this morning. and I feel like it blew my mind. The issue add-on, I just like feel like this is great because I haven't really tried this. I'm gonna try it. Maybe I'll do a live stream on it, but it's just so cool. I want to browse through my color blindness simulator add-on, and this is essentially an add-on which helps you see what other people cannot see, right? So you can't really make designs for things that you don't know that they exist. I feel like color blindness is something that we really need to consider in our designs to make them more accessible. I just opened it in an external previewer so that it's bigger for you guys to see. Now, on the left that you see is the normal, which are the colors that we selected. And over here are all the color blindness simulations that will happen. So I can click on any of these, and on the right, you see that this is how someone with the protonomaly color blindness will be able to see, right? And then we have this one, which looks still contrast is great. I'm going to browse through all of these to see if there's anything that makes my design not accessible, which just means that if there's bad contrast, I'll be able to tell that if someone with any of these color blindnesses would not be able to see, right? This is someone with full color blindness. This is how they would be able to see. And I feel like everything is still legible. It has good contrast, so we're good to go. Now, this is actually a good example of showing you that, but I actually want to do something where I change the colors to be something that's like really, really bad. And I can do that by going over here and then changing the color to like perhaps like a little bit like this. Okay. Now, over here, if you don't have any kind of color blindness, you can still see it. But I feel like the color blindness check will fail here. So let's open that again. I think that should, I'm going to reload the preview again to get the new colors. And then I'm going to click on open an external viewer again just to see how that works. Did it work? Here we go. Okay. I'm going to size that up just to see how that looks. Okay. So I'm going to see on the right, again, on the right is the color blindness that I've selected. And they would probably not be able to see some of these. Okay, that's fascinating. That's fast. Okay, this was a fail, you guys, but this is how you know it's live. This still has a great contrast because you are able to see, but I would still say that by contrast standards, the WCGA standards, it's still not the right amount of contrast. You would still need to add something. But this is actually a great way to see that whether or not your designs have good contrast or not. But I do want to go back to George's question. If I place in George on the Behance chat says, if I place an image from desktop, I can crop or mask. But if I get an image from my library, it doesn't give me the option to mask. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into that. I want to click on the plus button here. And maybe let's say we are making an Instagram post. So I want to resize this, make it an Instagram square size post or something. And then maybe I want to add like an image here, right? So I can go to my library, which is George's use case. I want to go to the Spirit and Spark library. I can close this add-on here and then maybe use like an image that we have here. I think Kristen added something in here. So let's go back, browse through. Okay, here are some images, right? I'm going to click on the image. That's going to place the graphic right here. You are right. It doesn't actually show you the editing options in here, which is so fascinating. I do know that this is a linked asset. So I think that right now, Adobe Express is limited when you're adding linked assets just because this was created or added from Illustrator. And Adobe Express doesn't allow you to edit that linked asset unless you edit that in Adobe Illustrator. So what a workaround for you would be going back into Illustrator and changing that linked asset there. And I can do that here. I'm in Illustrator now. I'm going to try to find the library file here. I don't know what it's called. Let's go back to Express and see what it's called. It is called Artwork 90. Okay. So we have Artwork 90 in here somewhere. I'm going to go look for it. Over here, I can double click into it to go to the actual file here. And then I can crop this image within Illustrator, right? So let me place it something like so, and then click on apply. And once I click save, I think it should prompt me here that, oh, this linked asset was actually updated. Let's go ahead and see if that happens. It takes a few seconds because it's over the cloud and we're also live. So it does take a bit of a like a few seconds for it to work. You see that in the library here, it has been updated. So when I go back to my, here we go. When I go back to my Adobe Express file, it's going to say your linked assets have changed. And if I click on update, it's going to give me the updated variation here. Artwork 90 is updated successfully. And here we go. That's the cutout variation that we just created. Here we go. That's the file that we have. And while we are here, I actually want to say we're at the 30-minute mark. So why don't we create some Instagram posts? Because why not? Okay, I think this is great because I actually did want something square over here. And then I want to copy this text here and then just say, maybe I want to paste it. Where did it go? Is it here? Where is it? Do I see it? I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's the same color. That's why I can't see it. But I have this right here. I want to add a new text here. And I'm going to say add your text. Maybe I want to market some of the things, right? So you're working with your brand and you want to create something for your Instagram when you're doing like an Adobe Live event. So I'm going to create that here and then I can go ahead, bring it up top like so, change the font. I'm going to use the header font in here, maybe change the line spacing to be a little bit less. Something like this should be good. Maybe change the kerning a little bit. I think this looks good. And I know that this is not in Kristen's brand kit here, but just for the sake of type hierarchy and what I want to show you today, I just want to do that this is like so. And now I just want to talk about what the event is, right? So, or where the event is going to happen. I'm going to scale this down just a little bit so it's like here. And then maybe I'll add another image. I do have some of the images that Kristen actually shared with me earlier. So I'm going to bring that up over here. So here are some images that Kristen shared with me, and I can use any of these images in here. So I think I want to use this one. I can click and drag it in here like so. I have this, and you are right. When you click and drag it, you can actually change and crop it as much as you want. So I can do that here like this. So it matches the proportions. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to bring these here, select them together and size that down. Just like so, it matches the colors. Okay, and then I'm going to change the color palette over here as well. And maybe I want some information. So I'm going to go back to this guy. Maybe I want to copy this. Maybe I want to copy this as well and go back in here, paste it here. So that's cool. The placement was perfect. I want to bring this here. And then I also want to add some information that, okay, when is the actual event going to happen? The actual event is happening right now. It is October 4th, and the time is 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time. So I'm going to write PT, and then maybe I want to size it up so that it's legible. And also remember, whenever you're creating anything for like social media, make sure to like export it. If you're doing it for the first time, exporting and seeing how that actual design looks on your phone is like a great idea, because that will give you perspective on how to create those things in the future as well. I feel like this is cool, but this actually doesn't tell me what the live event is about. So what I want to do is scale this down. I think thinking about what the event is, when it's happening, why they should join is some of the things that you should include in like an event poster or something, or some of those things. Okay, and then I'm going to say learn how to unlock your brand's potential with the power of Adobe Express. Let's go back, make the A capital here, and I think this looks good. I want to left align it, so I can go to this align button, go to left align, size it down, and then bring it maybe here, and then just like match it to this. Okay, I think this is looking cool. I do want to make it something like this. I want to group this. I want to center this. Okay, yeah, I think this looks good. We can go back and make some alignment things later on. I want to add like a line element to this just because I feel like that would give it like some perspective in here. I think there might be like a shape which is like a line. Here we go. That's a line that I can use. And then maybe I can use this, which will guide our eye here. And then you can go ahead and change the thickness of it. I'm going to say 2. I think that's a little bit too thick. I'm going to say 1. And you can also change the color of it to be your brand colors again. I love that. There are Jenny, thank you so much for your question. Jenny says, please tell me how to add the color blindness app. So it's not actually an app. If you go back to the video, you can go through, scroll once the video is ended. It will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. you can go back there and actually see how I demonstrated that. But just because you're here a little bit late, I can do that again. I can go back to my add-ons panel here on the left, and then you can say color blindness simulator, click on that, and whatever design that you have created in this particular page is going to show you all the color blindness simulations. So we have all of these on the right that you see, and you can click through and see if your design is still accessible. If this little button or tab is too small for you, you can click on the open an external preview button and then see all of these designs there as well. So as you see that I'm clicking through this, it's changing all the colors that I have, and that's how people with these kinds of color blindness are able to see your designs. I hope that helps. Let me know if you are if you still have any questions. I do want to zoom into this and I want to bring this like here. Okay, this would be super cool. What I can do is like change this, and I have a great idea. Okay, let me actually go here and actually make it 2. And now I can essentially make this like as if this is appearing from this. Okay, here we go. This is cool. I love this. And then I can actually change this color to be the same color of the little spark that we have here. Okay, that's a great element. I feel like the spark is like such a great element. I can also use it as like another use case that I just like found out while I was designing this. I love creating things live because it just like gives you that spark that you need. No pun intended. I want to go here and click on duplicate page, and maybe I want to make Kristen like a template where this is like Command G. I can group this, and this can act as like, oh, here's like an arrow for something on next page. I can delete all this. And if Kristen wants to do a tutorial video, which I know Kristen does a lot on her Instagram page, you can go here and check those out. But if it's like a carousel post, right? And Kristen wants to make something for that brand, she can say 10. Sorry, I want to click on this. I want to double click on this and say 10 tips for graphic designers. And then once you have that, you can also use this as like an arrow, but also something that matches your brand element. So you can place this, and this can work as like an arrow. I mean, it could be like your graphic element. So you're still working in your brand identity, but you're also exploring other things. I love that. Cody in the chat says, lovely, so chic. This is stunning. Love the images you chose and the type layout. Love it. Thank you so much. Lynette, I see you. I see your question. Will Adobe Express ever have manual kerning? That's a great question for the Adobe Express stream. I would say if you are using the Adobe Express new version, you can click on submit feedback, and then you can click on join community. This will redirect you to our Discord page where you can ask our product team and also other people in the community who will be able to help you with your specific question. I hope that helps. Okay, I feel like this is like super cool, and you can go in here again to change all of the backgrounds. So we've covered a lot. In the past 37 minutes, we talked about business cards, creating sizes, resizing for a digital business card, which I think is super cool. I see there are some, can we add the website? Of course we can. There are some comments that Kristen left us, so we can, of course, add the website. I can just go in here, and I love that this live collaboration kind of like helps me do this while I'm also live with you, which I feel like is super cool. So I'm going to add this website here, and then I can just like align it in the center. Okay, let's see if I can center line it. Okay. Jenny says, thank you, but I don't see the add-on. I'm not sure why that is, Jenny. You might have to reach out to customer support, or again, the Discord team might be able to help you because we have some helpful friends in there from the Adobe team. So make sure to like join the Discord, and they might be able to help you with your particular query. Lynette says, yes, that answers their question. Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Happy to incorporate them while we're live. That's the beauty of being live. Okay, I'm going to look through my notes over here and see what all we can create. All right. So one of the few things that people don't talk about is like an invoice creation, right? We're all businesses. We're all small businesses or freelancers out there, and we all want to make money, but we also want to send beautiful invoices to our clients. And I don't know about you, but I use QuickBooks for my invoicing. But you can actually upload your own template on there and then add information from QuickBooks. So I can click on templates right here and click on invoices. There are numerous numbers. Yes, there are a lot of invoice templates here in Adobe Express. There are some beautiful ones. This is like a free one. We have some premium ones. Again, a free one again. Some more premium ones. I can show you both, or I can create my own invoice. I really love this one. But I think a fun element there would actually be having like a pattern at the bottom, just like this. So I want to hop into Illustrator now, which is Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to close this file. And I actually want to use some of these spark and spirit elements just to make like a fun little pattern for either a thank you card, or maybe like a business card, or maybe like Kristen is sending like stickers or something and she's selling that on her shop. I don't know if that's the future, but maybe it is. We want to think about all these use cases for our clients or our own personal branding and create some patterns out of it. So I went ahead and got these little elements in here. So I want to create this here, and maybe I want to copy this and bring it up top so that we have some clarity. So we have all of these elements right over here, and I want to create patterns. Now, there are two ways that you can make patterns within Adobe Illustrator, right? You can either create patterns using the pattern tool, which is what everybody uses, and it's the industry standard of making it. But you can also use it with like a grid feature. So repeat grid, right? So I want to do this. Maybe I want something like this, okay? And then, yeah, I think these could be like a cool, this could be like a cool pattern. And I can just go ahead, select all this and go to edit, go to, go to object, go to pattern and go to make. Now this is going to open up the pattern maker in Adobe Illustrator. And I want to click on, okay, the pattern has been added to the swatches panel. But what if I want to edit this pattern? I'm sorry about that. We have some tile types here, which are super cool. This is right over here, the tile type that I'm using. You can brick by row. You can brick by column, which essentially means how your pattern is repeating. You can hex by column as well. And if you think this is like too close to things, you can actually change the width of this as well. So maybe make it 550, and that's going to move it away. I bet you haven't seen this ever before. You can actually make the width and height of the column different. So you can actually make it like, let's say 800, and that's going to make it more spaced out. And I think that is a super cool use case. I want to do hex by row and see how that looks like. I think that's super cool. And then you can change the overlap over here as well. So we have some of the options. I want to call it pattern 1, spirit and spark. And then I want to say, yeah, I think I'm okay with this. And when you're done, click on the done button up top and you have this pattern in the swatch panel right here. So I'm going to press M on my keyboard and create a rectangle and then fill that with the swatch that we have here, which is the pattern. So here we go. We have the pattern that we just created using the pattern maker tool, which is one of the ways that you can create a pattern. The other way that I was talking about earlier, I'm going to use the same 3 elements that I created just to show you the contrast between these 2 ways of making a pattern. I can click on object, repeat, and then use either the radial, grid, or the mirror repeat. I think the grid repeat is my favorite because I can go ahead and create a grid out of these things. And then this is cool, but I don't know if this is like too repetitive, right? Whenever you're creating a pattern, one of the things that I've learned from our moderator, Cody, we're also in chat, is that you want it to be so that it doesn't really look like a pattern. So I want it to be like a little bit different, doesn't like look like it's repeating when it's actually repeating. It still looks like it's repeating, but we're going to fix that in just a second. Now this maybe looks like it's not repeating, but we all know that it is. So there's no going away from that chat, that it's too late. Okay, this one actually looks super cool. I feel like this gives us more variation than what our pattern maker gave us. And I actually really love this one. So what I want to do is I can simply copy paste this into Express to make something there. So I can make it bigger just so that it covers the whole page. And then I can go Command C and then Command V over here. And we have this pattern right over here. I can scale it up and down like so. And the background is light, that's why you can't see it. I can change it to the darker color. Now, some of the pattern elements got remove because I didn't actually account for the darker background when I was making the pattern. But you can, of course, go back and change the color of the pattern itself. So maybe I want this to be like a lighter color, right? I can edit that with like this color. Oh, I have it. I had everything selected. So I can go back here. Maybe I wanted this to be like a darker color. Sorry, this one. And I can select that here. And now I have like a talker. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to paste this here. And that's going to bring me all the elements that I had in the pattern right there. Okay. So now I don't think it pasted. What happened here? Oh, there are some other elements there as well. Okay. I love that. Kristen in the chat says, oh my gosh, Spirit and Spark sticker shop that has a ring to it. Well, that's an idea out there for you. I want to start by saying that if you do create a sticker shop, you do need thank you card. So why don't we actually create the thank you card? So I want these thank you cards to be like a 5x7 inch card, right? So I can just say, or maybe like a landscape. So I'm going to say 7x5 and then make this inches and 7x5. And then I'm going to select this and click on resize. And that's just like my background of the thank you card. You may not want to use a pattern there. Totally your call. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I want to show you a use case of how that works. I do not want this pattern in my thank you card either, but I do want the size. So I'm going to say duplicate page. And then I want to delete this pattern right over here. And then I'm going to add some text which says, your order made my day. And so I'm going to go in here somewhere with like a lighter text. Here we go. I'm going to select this and go back to my page. Now you might be wondering, why am I just copy pasting it when I can just go to my text tab and add all of those information? Well, it's just saving me time and it already has the font applied to it. And I don't really need to go ahead and make those changes manually every single time. So I want to say your order made my day. And I want to bring this like so, and then I want to center it, right? So I'm going to make it here, and then the grid line appears, which is super cool. And at the bottom, I want to say thank you for your support and trust. Okay, we have about 10 minutes to go in the stream, so let me know if you have any questions. We're doing this really, really quickly. If you're watching this on replay, sorry, replay folks, this is too much talking and too quickly. But remember, you can actually go ahead and speed it down, make it 50% if you missed out anything. And this will be available for you to rewatch any time. So you can actually pause and do it for yourself and come back and yeah, just rewatch it if you missed something. And leave a comment if you think you missed something. Jeff in the chat says, does Express have cut lines? I have odd size files that need to be cut from standard or A4 paper size. Adobe Express does not have cut lines right now, but you can do that in Illustrator or InDesign. Absolutely, how Joshua just said in chat, you can actually do that in Illustrator or InDesign. Or maybe if you have like a PDF version from your printer, they usually send that file to you where you can just like paste your art in the art layer. I think this looks cool. I think I'm going to make it smaller here. And then maybe if like Kristen doesn't like this version, I can duplicate this to make a variation where this one would be on a lighter background. So I'm going to change this to be the lighter version. This would be the dark or the light mode in this case. And can you tell I'm really enjoying making these light and dark modes? And I think I want to replace this graphic to like a darker version. So maybe I'll use this one. And then I'm going to scale it down, bring it up top. And then I'm going to delete the older one, go to the layer, hit delete on your keyboard. And there we go. I think I want this here. Okay, your order made my day. Or maybe this could be like something like this. Okay, and then I want something like this. I'm going to align it to center. It is already aligned. And then I want to align it to middle. Okay, I think I'm going to make it a little bit off center. Okay, and then I think this is one variation. You could also do something like a 2-line variation, something like this, but I don't really like that. I can maybe just scale this down to make it more flush. And yeah, I think these are like the first part of the thank you card. And then the other side can actually say more details about like you added within your card. So maybe I want to create like, I actually want to duplicate this one. And then I want to make like the back of the card here. So I'm going to ungroup this. And the back of the card can say Now, remember when you're actually like printing this out, remember to only download these two files and then print it, because the project that we're doing for our demonstration purposes has like all of the things that we are creating today. So it's not essentially all the things that you want to print on your thank you card, right? So make sure to think about that when you're um doing this. Okay, I'm just adding in some information that I want to write about on the thank you card. So I have this guy here. I'm going to scale it down just like so. And I make it bigger. Maybe I want to make it like a bold family here. All right, that looks cool. And then now maybe I want to use these same graphic elements and then maybe like bring this up here. And maybe I want to say get 10% off on your next purchase. Use code spark 10, right? That could be something that I've seen a lot of creators do it. I've done it before. And I feel like that just like gives you all of the things. And then maybe you can add like a call to action. So I'm going to go back to my business card here and copy some of the things from here, which is like all the information that I might need. So I have this guy here. Did it paste anything? Okay, it is pasted. It's just not visible. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. And then I can change the colors of these to be like a darker color. Yeah, I think this looks good. I am excited about this. I can't wait for Kristen to actually make her business cards and thank you cards using these templates. I love that I got to do this with you all during our live stream today. This is like some of the things that you can actually do to unlock your brand's potential using Adobe Express. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough really quickly. Once we have, I'm not sure, did we make an invoice? Let me double check. We didn't actually make an invoice. We just jumped into thank you cards. So we have about 5 minutes left. I want to quickly show you how you can change the colors of your invoice from a template. So let's click on the plus button and then we'll do a quick walkthrough of everything that we did. So I'm going to go to templates. Meanwhile, if you have any questions again, okay, Evie has a question in chat. Copy pasting from one page to the next. What do you press to get that to work? Great question. Thank you for that. I can go in here and press this guy. I can actually right click and see what the shortcuts are. The copy shortcut for me, because I'm using a Mac, is Command C. If you're working on a Windows device, it is Control C. So I can press Command C, select all the things that I have, go to a new page within the same project, press Control or Command C, and then you see that everything is retained. We have the colors, we have the fonts, and I hope that answers your question. I love that. Cody says, cute. Shuvo joining us, seeing the rebrand come to life is so cool. Yeah, I love that you love it. Thank you so much. Kristen, I love that you love it, because if the client loves it, I love it, right? So we have all of this. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough because for the sake of time. And here's like how you can look for invoices. So if you go to invoice and write invoice, you have all of these in here. And you can actually select one of these, click on add as pages again. And I actually sneakily chose this one because some of the colors are similar to Kristen's brand. But the first thing that you want to do is click on ungroup. That's going to ungroup all the elements in here. And then you can go in here and click on the color and change the color of the brand that you have selected. So maybe I wanted this to be matching Kristen's brand. But that's how you would go and change the elements in your invoice template that you're using from Adobe Express. So thank you so much for joining me here today. This was super fun. I haven't been on Adobe Live for a while, so this was super fun catching up with you all in chat. I love that so many of you joined and gave us so many fun questions. Again, if you are watching this on replay, hi replay folks. Thank you so much for joining. Scroll through the video. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough. We created the business card front, the back with Kristen's information, some of the graphic elements. Then we created a digital business card, which was super, super cool. I love that there's a QR code creator within Adobe Express, so I don't need to go anywhere. And all of these elements were again taken from a Creative Cloud library, so I didn't have to go anywhere. It was all in a web page. Then we created some Instagram things, which is like an Adobe Live event. We're promoting this. So let's see how a template would look like with the brand elements. Then we have some other graphic elements that I decided to make on the fly. I was like, oh, this looks cool. Maybe I should make something here. And then we have a pattern that we created in Illustrator. You can go ahead and change this on the fly as well. And then we created some thank you cards, which were my way of saying thank you to you all for joining us here today. Thanks so much for being here with us on Adobe Live. Next up is Jack Watson with another Adobe Express stream. I love that you're all here. Stick around for more Adobe Live and Adobe Express streams later today, only on YouTube and on Behance. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.